So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Trubisky on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, Trubisky trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Carr throwing on second down. That's complete to Butler. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this one is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by... yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hang on, we go. You see it? You see it?
On first down, they run with Howard. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, let's go.
This is Howard on second down. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he's got this one down to the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A give to Howard. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And now here come the Raiders. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Hey,
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now they'll run it with Cohen, and he stopped immediately there. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Come on, gotta go.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Terrell Suggs. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. And Parkey's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Monday down.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. And here now a spin. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start things on first with Tariq Cohen. And he spins through. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Trubisky to throw again. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
They go with Washington to begin the drive. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Carr to throw on second down. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. Still fighting. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Danny Trevathan able to drop him for a loss of 4.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. Well, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
18.
Here's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They'll start the drive with Washington. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
We got 3. Get set.
On second down, Washington. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Hurry, get set, fellas.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's fielded at the 34. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now it's Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Trubisky now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a first and 10. Trubisky will throw. Steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard. On second down, Trubisky. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Parkey's kick is good. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Howard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Howard with his sights on a 3rd straight 1,000-yard season to begin his career. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. He's to the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears will extend their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
You got 3.
From the gun, it's Carr. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Express.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Carr now on first down. And this is Cook with a grab. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Shotgun now for Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it. Yes.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We got three, fellas. We got three. Check. Fresno.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run. This is Cohen. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in the East Bay. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Trubisky to throw. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Terrell Suggs in there for a milestone sack as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132.5. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. Right side complete to Butler. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Carr. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. One receiver to the left is Cooper. To throw, it's Carr. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Eddie Goldman in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now. It's 16-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step. There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Onto the field now come the Bears. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Running with Howard. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Trubisky on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Trubisky again. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. The give to Howard going left. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They go with Howard again. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go. We're on the ball after this. Ran, tough.
Trubisky to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big 1st down to get away from the end zone.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back to throw. Connects it to Roberts, right side. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
185. 24. Go cheat.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. He He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Chicago, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they will fall to 1-1. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I say, babe, it's. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front. I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. 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 With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like sleeping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front. I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want. I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Yeah. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front. I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway. Looking like money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Money back, money back, money back. Woo. Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Sideways, sideways.
Bring out the Brinks truck, I'm young, flying ice up. 100-yard dash, I had to run my price up. Boss your life up, I had to boss mine up. $10,000 outfit, $100 up. Hey, you know these checking for me in the DMs, getting for me. I ain't even took the dollar out my pocket and the still shaking for me. And I'm frosty like Tony in the club with the owner. I can walk on water, pop it like. When you on top, gon' hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you on top, gon' hate on you, that what they supposed to do, I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. 30, I might go around the two, stacking up, I love how my money count move. With attitude, I got a too, and I dropped out of school. I'm going up, check my vertical. Man, I'm breaking every rule. TMZ harassing me, I got a camera crew. I'm addicted to shopping, so everything brand new. I'm friends with the jeweler, my diamonds like Shamu. Hey, she like she applying shampoo. Pretty face, she got a look. Keep a few racks on me. I used to work in the factory. Been hating it, never bother me. I make they follow me. Teacher said that I'm a prodigy. When I'm shopping, I don't care what it's costing me. 10 bands, really, that ain't a lot to me. Turn up my swag to infinity. I leveled up on these. Yeah, I leveled up. Hey, I bezeled up on these. Yeah, I bezeled up. I ain't got time for no negative energy. I'm on a winning streak. I'm on a spree. The devil be doing the most, but he don't ever get to me. Bring out the Brinks truck. I'm young, flying ice up. 100-yard dash. I had to run my price up. Boss your life up. I had to boss mine up. $10,000 outfit, $100 up. Hey, when you on top, gon' hate on you. That what they supposed to do. I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof. Hey, when you on top, gon' hate on you. That what they supposed to do. I don't know how to lose. I think the Rari go faster without the roof.
Can you hear me?